coming at you live and direct from London, England. As an Arsenal fan, the reason boss. Wait for it, wait for it. I know what you want to hear. I know what you've been hearing, but I'm going to speak. The reason boss, the armchair boss, is proud to be an Arsenal fan. Arsenal gave it of their level best. Saka, Odegaard, Mourinho, Moreno, Kivia, Rolls-Royce, Saliba. Everybody gave it their 110%. They simply came up short. Short against a crack PSG team, a newly reformed, stylishly, top of the range, working extremely hard, and they got the job done. Inter Milan await PSG in the Champions League final. Let me reiterate, Arsenal are in the semi-final stage of the Champions League. When a few seasons ago, Mikel Arteta became the gaffer of a team that was struggling for chump change, battling relegation if them never mind sharp, unless and yet they wheeled and came again. Fast forward to today, after winning and lifting the FA Cup under Arteta. It has been slim pickings trophy-wise, and yet let us tune into the real deal. Arsenal have been runners-up in the Premier League more times than I care to remember, and yet I'm going to remember. I'm going to remember because, whether you like it or not, Arsenal remain a top-level team. No little thanks to Mikel Arteta. However, have the ball was concerned? No! Coach's desk. Fix up and look sharp. Fix up and look sharp. This is a man who's got his bomber jacket on because there's incoming. There's incoming. With people left, right and centre, including Arsenal fans, building up a level of toxicity I simply won't have. There are certain people, Manchester United fans, for example, Spurs fans, for example, who dare the temerity, the bad-mindedness to suggest that the likes of these big teams, excuse me, so-called big teams, yeah, me have a cough, like, share and subscribe. Time hot on yes, sir, and it'll get hotter if I begin to talk about the likes of Manchester United and Spurs. This brings me to the age-old argument, levels. There's levels to this thing. A team such as Manchester United would consider some people, yeah man, no, so them find them all right sometimes, but each to their own. A Europa Cup, Europa League victory could be cause for statues being erected at places like Old Trafford. Spurs would bite your arm off for a Europa League title. Arsenal offer aesthetic beauty. Steel. Did you see the steel? They had PSG under the pump, as my friend Solomon said, and suggested, maybe, big up yourself, so Crystal Palace fan, an expert in humanity and matters football. Did PSG decide to soak up the pressure, see what Arsenal had? A bit of rope-a-dope, if you will. Bit of Muhammad Ali style against George Foreman. They soaked up the pressure. My lord, when I saw Martin Odegaard with that left foot sumptuous strike, my lord, fire! Fire! Oh, God. Let me take it down low. Oh, God, me bust some sweat, and God knows I was busting sweat. As I saw that sumptuous strike heading towards the PSG goal, we're back in this contest. We were, but only figuratively. Practically, a certain Donnarumma, world-class keeper on world-class form, parried, strong wrist, parried it around the corner. How on earth that goal didn't go in? How on earth that strike didn't go in? I'll never know. But 27 minutes into the game, after being pummeled on the ropes, left, right and centre, oh God, pressure and pressing of the highest order from Arsenal. Hats off to Arteta, who had a plan, party with the long throws, pressing of the highest order, led by Martin Odegaard. A certain Spanish international playing in his position, Fabian Ruiz, hit a left-footed strike which beat David Raya. All ends up a slight deflection off the Rolls Royce of a defender. William Saliba helped ensure that Raya had no chance. It was a screamer of an effort, shades of Rivaldo. Anyone remember Belgium 2002? Oh God. Ronaldinho across to Rivaldo. Just let it bounce and then a volley. PSG, big up yourself, full respect. I am going to be not backwards in coming forward. I was expecting a guest to join me, a fellow Arsenal fan, in a non-toxic environment. We're going to tell it as we see it. Well, go on yourself. No fool yourself, coaches. There's no fool yourself. No fool yourself. Let me speak. And this is the problem, you see. Coach's desk. Big up yourself. Like, share, and subscribe each and every time. This fella, this character, and his platform full of toxic people who want to shout the odds. Make me cough. Make me cough and ball out. Have mercy. I have the bomber jacket on for a reason. Why are people bad-minded against Arsenal? Why? Mo NN, a man who said to me, oh God, a man who said, you could be waiting 10 more years. You'll be lucky if Arsenal win a Premier League title and lift the trophy. Stick to the FA Cup. Mo NN said, stick to the FA Cup. But hear what? The Premier League is the toughest league in the world to win. I say Arsenal will challenge this season. Martin Odegaard injured. Bukayo Saka injured. Kai Havertz out for the season after looking like he could be the man that could help us lift the big trophies. No Gabriel Jesus out for the season. How unfortunate is that fellow? And yet, in step Kivia. How soon do we forget? Coaches, that's how soon we forget. The stream is trash like Arsenal. You hear that? You hear that? Yeah, man. Yeah, there are real people speaking. I tell you, there's a toxic culture around in certain circles. But this area, Rich Paul Sports, the armchair boss, the poetic boss, is speaking. And I'm saying, Mikel Arteta, I'm going to trust the process. The board needs to know what is required. You are the front man, Mikel Arteta, but you need to be supported as best as possible. You know what is required. Through your time at Manchester City under the guidance of a certain Pep Guardiola, arguably the finest manager of the modern generation. Do we need to go the extra mile to get those players in? PSG recruited 2 players, a Georgian, outstanding individual, international, and Doué, oh my lord, jinking tirelessly, and they transformed this PSG team that Arsenal, I said Arsenal, took care of in the early Champions League new stages. Took care of them handily. Arsenal, who took care of Real Madrid, Mbappe, Vini Jr., Bellingham, and company. Thierry Thiobo Courtois, taken care of in style in the previous round in the quarterfinal stages. Lest we forget. Coach's Desk, like and subscribe. Free and easy. Big up yourself, Coach's Desk. Listen, let me tell you something. Will you allow yourself? There's plenty of fans out there, plenty of fans and plenty of detractors. The toxic environment, my lord. Some people are refusing to bow, to accept that sometimes you gotta say, watch out. I wonder if the man has a point. I wonder, you know what? When you check yourself, when you check the situation, when you take it on low, sometimes you have to check it and say, you know what, Arsenal, they're just a player or two short. That's all. They're so close. And yet, big up second place in the Premier League behind an outstanding Liverpool team, outstanding, consistent, strength in depth. Jota, Nunez, Diaz, Salah, McAllister, Gravenberch, Van Dijk, Konate, Alisson. No chump change players there. Arsenal huffed and puffed. They simply lacked against PSG a striker, a forward who could put the ball in the back of the net when you have the likes of Gabriel Martinelli and Bukayo Saka being the main dangers to put the ball in the net. something is amiss. No Kai Havertz, no Jesus. Arsenal deserve praise and credit for getting this far with a patched up, limited team. Semi-finals of the Champions League, flying high in the Premier League again. Runners up twice and could be a third time in running. That is nothing to be sniffed at. Meanwhile, the likes of Manchester United. Is there a reason why I keep on coughing when I mention these teams? Where is anyone out there? Please, let me look in the comments. Where is Manchester United in the Premier League? The bread and butter for any team is to lift the domestic trophy, and if not, go down fighting in the domestic trophy to show that you are one of the big hitters. Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich and Leverkusen, PSG and any other. They are flying the flag for France. In England, Man City and Arsenal. Liverpool, Man City and Arsenal, always in the mix. Where them man they call Manchester United and Spurs, languishing. I know that they're not mid-table, are they? Spurs and Manchester United are not mid-table, and yet they are in semi-finals, respectively, of the Europa League. I believe they're in action this evening. Like, share, and subscribe. If you know the opponents, you will be doing well. Bodo Glimp. There's a bag of teams Man United have come up against. No one would have ever heard of them. Maybe their own fans may not. Oh, God. Oh, God. Messi me a boss a sweat. Messi me a boss a sweat. Yeah, so Jonathan. Son Hart. Man United not, but Son Hart in London, England. I'm going to hold a little beetroot juice. Unfortunately, my colleague could not join me tonight, but I'm speaking this afternoon. Wherever you are, hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Reason Boss in the building. Manchester United. Is there any coincidence? Where is Manchester United? 15th, 16th, 14th, 13 and a half, 15 and a half. Anyone? Anyone in the building? What kind of a position is that for a team of note and repute? Same for Spurs. There are levels to this game. Aston Villa have had an outstanding season. I'm giving an Arsenal review. As far as I'm concerned, the word I would use for Arsenal season, challenging. Like, share, and subscribe. I'll say it again. Me not stutter. Challenging. Challenging, literally, for a place in the race for the Champions League. For a period in the fight. Only them held back the dam of inevitability for Liverpool. No other contenders were in sight as the season wore on. For Chelsea, relative success. Where are they? In the what? European Conference final? Previously won by West Ham United? There are levels to this thing called football. Aston Villa will have had a relatively successful season. Bournemouth will have had a relatively successful season. Newcastle lifting the Carabao Cup and fighting high for a Champions League place this season. Congratulations to them. A quality season for them. Nottingham Forest, big up yourself. Outstanding season. There are levels to this. Why does it seem as though the detractors of Arsenal feel as though if you listen to them in the bubble that they create, steely, firm, determined, Arsenal not good, Arsenal not good, Arsenal not good, them not good, them not Netflix it. I want banner fire. I want banner. So the sun hot, I want some ear. Man United, banner fire. Man, ball it out. Fix up and look sharp. There are levels to this thing. Arsenal, if many other teams were given Arsenal season, would bite both hands, ankles off. My lord, I tell you what, Iska Shane Thompson, a disgrace, a man to throw shade upon for finishing runners-up to the likes of Noah Lyles. Is that the situation? Is second nowhere or somewhere? The reason boss says it's somewhere. It's somewhere, and I want somewhere for someone out there in their droves to have a heart for Arsenal. Congratulations to Inter Milan and PSG in making the Champions League final. Congratulations to Newcastle United for lifting the Carabao Cup. Congratulations to Shane Thompson for pushing Sambini hard in the Diamond League. He's pushing for the big prize at the big dance. Me nah knock them, me nah knock him, no sir. Anyone who's going out there to try, hats off to them. Arsenal simply came up short. The personnel, Saka holding on to the ball too long. Holding on to the ball too long, but he was desperate to do something to be the game changer. This was a team effort required. And inclusive of that, just like PSG passed that ball around, Hakimi, Nunez, Vitinha, it needed a team effort. Holding on to the ball too long was not going to produce the goal. Fabian Ruiz wasted no time. Chest down, Martinelli goes flying past, trying to intercept. There was no standing on ceremony. Martin Odegaard style. He pulled the trigger. 1-0. Hakimi pulled the trigger. 2-0. That mentality. And this is where I would disagree with some of my colleagues, my Arsenal colleagues, fans and friends and associates, where we can say the coach is responsible for ensuring that the players get to the final third in the field and then it's down to them. I would suggest, yes, it's down to the players on the pitch to be accountable, to put the goal in the bag, in the onion bag, as it were. But I've started, so I'll finish. Mr. I'll finish. Oh, God. Listen to my make my boss sweat. Me not say CD yet. Some of them, hey, I have a 2x4 for you know. You watch that, watch it. Hey. But hey, what? I digress. Sometimes the coach and that mentality, that killer mentality, that clinical mentality can come in useful. Pep Guardiola, known for insisting on the ball being passed around. But you need that end product. You need to hammer it home to the fans and to the players. The players need to know training ground routines. You can pass the ball around, but you need to have a feeling, know where the net is and to find the net. The mission, the end mission, not just to look pretty, but to put the ball in the back of the net. PSG was simply more clinical than Arsenal. Did they lack the resources? Did they have players of repute on the pitch? Was Moreno, Trossard, Saka, Martinelli, were they capable of putting the ball in the back of the net, quick and sharp? Or did they have to wait for the incoming forwards who may be joining the Arsenal ranks? They had to do it there and then. I saw it. I told my friend Andre, big up yourself, Andre, why is Arsenal fan players, why are some of the Arsenal players holding on to the ball too long? But this is an armchair fan perspective. These guys are paid the big bucks. They're out on the pitch and they know the deal. They know what they're capable of. They're seeing the picture. We may be seeing the bigger picture from our TV screens, from the comfort of our armchairs. But these guys are going out there on the field of battle. Big up yourself, soul. Big up yourself, soul of Adage credit. Big up yourself. Check it out, because watch ya. When you check out certain things and you reflect upon certain scenarios, you've got to say, maybe they've got a point. Arsenal are just so close to getting the job done on the biggest stages of them all, Premier League and Champions League wise. The Premier League, the hardest league in the world. Imagine having to play, I'm not going to include Man United, having to play game after game where no quarters asked and none given. The Premier League is a tough environment to operate in successfully. And yet, as we see, potentially you could have 5 or 6 teams in the Champions League. And I tell you what, in European competition, we're looking at 5 maybe for the Champions League. And in Europe, it could be up to 7 English teams. That is, and such is the quality of the English Premier League. But to go up against these teams week in and week out, 2 games a week at times, and then come across the PSGs who don't have that pressure cooker environment to deal with, come the biggest occasion, they're ready, they're prepped mentally, psychologically. It's not easy, and yet Arsenal, season after season, have been operating at the highest level. I say it's been a challenging season. Let me see where Guan Yasa. Let me see where Guan Yasa in the comment section. I'm taking it from the TOP. Like, share, and subscribe, free and easy, watching live or in the rerun. Busting a sweat, the reason boss. In the building, giving thanks for life. Mr. Mikel Arteta, you have entertained with your team. You have left it on the pitch, and I'm proud. Big up yourself, Skip. J.A. fan of Arsenal. Big up yourself. Devon Porter one Bonafire. Chelsea with them there. All the best in the European Conference. Against who? I get. Check the comment section, because sometimes people don't even know what clock a strike. Some people don't know what clock a strike. Coach's desk. I want Bonafire. Mainzy. Justice, whatever you. I tell you what, there's some alias people out there, some alias people keeping a low profile, because if you see what I'm doing at the bread and butter league, the toughest league in the world, I'll give you that. Hats off to Man United. Ain't the reasoning. Big up yourself, Man United. You still remain in the Premier League. Big up yourself, Spurs. I've said it. Me never tap back no talk. You're still in the Premier League. Hats off to you. It's arguably the finest and strongest footballing league, professionally wise, in the entire world. For that, I salute these two teams. I'll take it from the TOP so we can expose those individuals who need a bit of fire and a 2x4 on them. Coaches there says, move this. Well, I'm not going to move this. We're standing firm. We're standing proud. Don't fool yourself. I'm not fooling myself. Arsenal still have work to do. Next season, Arsenal will, with the board's help, provide Arteta with the necessary tools and a bit of fortune. That whole thing called fortune. Havertz out. Jesus out. Bakaya out when the going was starting to get tough. Opportunities were there. In came Nwaneri. We've got a future. Arsenal have a future, and we need to applaud them for that. But to make us more than the nearly men, as AFTV's Robbie said, we need to take stock of what's gone on in the last few seasons and see if we cannot put our best foot forward. We have ability, we have hope, we are optimistic. Let us put it and give it to them. Those naysayers who are calling Arsenal the nearly men, the Netflix series men. Turn this up. Coaches, that's delusional. I tell you what, some of these hard-boiled, them sweets that are hard-boiled, you put them in your mouth, you suck on them, and you best keep on sucking on them, because you have to wait a good while, because you try and break them. You try and break. Can't break them, Man United. Correlation. Let me tell you something. You sound not clear, same like Arsenal. Let me be crystal clear, coach's desk. Arsenal season has been challenging with injuries and setbacks, and yet they have remained dogged. It's not been a stellar season, even by Arsenal's standard. And I say even because to produce dynamic, dramatic, eloquent, if you will, football takes some doing. Some people like it plain and simple. Arsenal like to give you a little something extra. You know what I mean? It's not just you're playing chicken. Try a little peri-peri, a little BBQ sauce. You know what I mean? Look, marinate it with a little jerk. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, we mix it. This season, it wasn't quite that. And yet, you see where we're there? Semi-finals, Champions League. Semi-finals, Champions League. Semi-finals of the Champions League. Rewind 5 or so seasons ago, battling, fearing relegation fights. How far Arsenal have come. Some would say, yes, how far we've fallen from the Wenger days. Yes, he had runners up positions. We also lifted with that unbelievable, magnificent, real Invincibles team. You remember that one? Vieira. You remember that one? The one that went unbeatable. Henry. You remember that one? Gilberto Silva. You remember that one? Unbeaten entire Premier League season. Anyone else done that? uh, Bella, ciao. Got to admit that was a great save. You see, if you look and search deep enough, you'll see the real deal quality. You'll see truth out. The truth will out. It was a great save by Donnarumma. That must have been one of his finest performances. Outstanding keeping, deprived and stopped, denied. Bukayo Saka with a wonderful curling effort, left-footed as usual, arrowing into the top right-hand corner. That's the one. Donnarumma at full stretch palms it over the bar. Bukayo was not to be denied. Arsenal got a well-deserved goal to make the final score PSG 2, Arsenal 1 in the Parc des Princes. They were elated. As you know, I'm a Seleção as well as Reggae Boys fan. I'm a football fan at heart. I love the game. Marquinhos, the sight of Marquinhos, long-time servant at PSG, while the likes of the Messis and the Neymars and the Mbappés have come and gone. Marquinhos has remained faithful as the captain. I was elated and delighted. Delighted. I'm not going to say elated. Delighted for Marquinhos, Brazilian international and long-serving player and representative in the defense of PSG. And they have an outstanding opportunity of lifting the Champions League, the first for them. Only Arsenal and PSG, you could say, the big teams have yet to lift that big prize. My lord, my lord. Fair dues. No shame. No, I say it again. No shame. I say no shame in losing to a team of such standing. Savage, hi to you. Uploading, big up yourself. Savage, like, share, subscribe. Free and easy to Rich Paul Sports. Thank you for giving of your time. It is so precious. I appreciate. Division 1 basketball. Arsenal just signed Mark Perkins from Barbados. He's a striker. Is that the case? I tell you what, all the very best. I'm sure that he's got a lot of potential. We salute and look forward to hearing more of this gentleman. Cosmin M. What do you think of the chances of getting away with a small... I do not condone such behavior. France food market. Eating potatoes with, let me tell you something. Right about now, funny you should mention that. Funny you should mention that, you know. I'm going on some travels, you know. I'm going to be landing sometime soon in Sweet Jam Down. It won't be plain potatoes. Bust some, hey, some jerks, some oxtail. Oh God, some acansa. Oh God, some plantain. Oh God, some beef. Oh God, some sour sauce. Oh God, some guinea. Oh God, hey, Lord have mercy. Plain Aki, big up yourself. Ironic, I did mention Aki, you know. Yes, indeed. What a wonderful, wonderful. Hey. I digress. James Roman. Yeah. Oh God. Listen, nothing is free in this. No, I digress. There is something free. It's called love and understanding. Wish some of us out there had a bit more of that. Oh yes, don't you agree? You don't agree? Hell yeah, brother. France Food Market. Très bon, très bon, très bon. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much for tuning in to the Reason Bosses armchair perspective on Arsenal's season. It has been a challenging season as far as the Arsenal squad and fans have been concerned. Could it be Arteta's last season next season? Who knows? I say I'm going to trust the process. I, the Reason Boss, the armchair boss, the poetic boss, say, hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. It's a rough journey. Sweater bus, frustration. Words are said. But sometimes it's good to bridle the tongue, hold tight, reflect, wail and come again, if you will. Arsenal have been challenging, knocking on the proverbial door. I say, keep on, but add more. We saw the balls going into the box. Where was the striker? Martinelli turning up in the box, coming across from his wing to try and get onto something when the ball's whizzed past. A little too late. PSG have a nice chemistry. Inter Milan, what a game against Barcelona. You see the irony? Do you see the levels in the irony? For the first 20 minutes, Arsenal were all over PSG. As I said, it could have been a rope-a-dope style on the part of PSG. As my good friend Sol said, maybe they were just soaking up everything Arsenal had. What have you got? Let's see what you've got. And then hit them. Cover up. Peekaboo. Is that all you got, chump? That all you got, chump? Wrong time to get tired. Wrong time to get slack, Miles. Miles, wrong time to be throwing those loose passes, Miles. Boom. Here we go, Miles. Here we go, Here we go, counter. Boom, 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 bam. I'm a proud Arsenal fan. Son of boss. I need little breeze. I need a little breeze. Breeze. A little breeze, breeze. Oh, God. Oh, that breeze feels good. Arsenal board. That breeze feels good. Oh, for that cool breeze mixed with that sunshine, you could have yourself a wonderful summer. A summer with the trophy cabinet in need of not only dusting down, but that kissing of the trophy, that fresh, minted trophy. It's there for you, Arsenal. It's there for you. Do you want it? Can you handle it? Are you mad? Can you handle it? Can you handle it? Ah, James Roman, you run a hard deal. Your granny, I got sell me two, go one coat. Hey, we can reason the thing out. Like, share, and subscribe. Look a breeze! Look a breeze! Oh God! Oh God! We love Arsenal. We love you, Arsenal. We do. Oh, Arsenal, we love you. Like, share, and subscribe. Me gone. Peace and love, Arteta. We're gonna trust the process. We need just a little more. It's been challenging. Oh God! Them man who love church say that one burn and chew and look up 2x4 and burn a fire same time. We can't burn the fire become what the wood for deal with certain man and deal with certain people who need a hey, peace and love. My God, me say. Arsenal, we love you.